Yo, yo, yo. What's up, peoples? Happy Monday? Question mark? At least an amount of people are getting a holiday, depending on where you live and stuff. But I hope it's a great start to the week, no matter what. I hope everybody had a great weekend. We've got video gaming news this morning, and I'll be honest, I don't know what I'm playing today. We've been doing Stardew Valley the past few days, and I just don't know that I'm feeling it. Don't know that I'm feeling it today. As I stated yesterday, it's definitely not something that I'm planning on playing and streaming as much as I had planned initially. And now that I've gotten in there, it's a good game. It's just for me as a games content wise to stream and stuff, I don't know that it's really there for me, and you know, I don't know that that's what I want to play today either. So we'll see what I'm feeling after we finish the video gaming news segment up, and what I want to get into. Nightingale is definitely starting tomorrow, as long as the game still releases on time. That is a definite plan for me. So we'll see how the day goes. We'll figure it out. And for Tinwin and True and Ferret, everybody that's been playing the game with me, if I don't end up playing Stardew, I'm sorry. I can't really help if I, you know, am just not really feeling the vibes, dude. So, you know, I will apologize in advance if it's not something that I end up playing today and we don't end up co-oping in that. So, but we'll figure it out. We'll still have a good time playing games. We'll figure something out, and it'll be a good day as always, man. So, let's go ahead and do what we do, man. Let's dive in here. Let's get into video gaming news for today, February 19th. See what we can find to stay current on going on in the industry, and then we will figure out what game we're going to play today. Let's do it. Yeah. This is something, I mean, I've talked about this in the past. Video games are becoming a hotbed for dangerous propaganda. For sure. It's entertainment. Entertainment has always, you know, the more popular forms of entertainment have always been a platform for propaganda. And, you know, we've got to be careful about it, hyper aware of that is the case. I've talked about it. I mean, of note recently, one of the things that I've been trying to make people aware of and be careful of is, you know, Saudi Arabia's regime is buying heavily into the gaming industry. And, you know, they use the front of a company called Savvy Games Group to invest heavily in the video gaming industry, and they are one of the worst countries in the world. You can look it up when it comes to social injustice, to you know, not treating people fairly when it comes to different demographics of people. It's a terrible thing. It sucks that it's something that we need to be aware of in the world of video games that are supposed to be something just about bringing us a fun, immersive time to allow us to escape the normal stressors and anxieties of life, right? But it is part of it, definitely. And I'm just giving you an example of something that I see coming down the pipeline of potentially spreading propaganda of what a specific country holds in regards to their own views and beliefs, and how they might be trying to spread those views and beliefs in a propaganda type of manner, right, to us, because they do outright own certain developers such as SNK. They've bought heavily into big name companies like Nintendo and Sony. And we've just got to be hyper aware of what's going on here, right? So it's important to be careful and be aware of what companies and maybe even what countries are in the background of the holdings of these types of games and things. I mean, you know, there's a lot of it. I'm just bringing up one, you know what I mean? Yo, what up, Soup? Mr. Canadian? Who are you talking about? I'm not Canadian. I don't know who you're talking about. Oh, yeah. So, what's up, Soup? How you doing, buddy? I mean, and look, they're not the only ones. There's you know, a lot of different organizations, countries, things out there that have their a foothold in the gaming industry that are going to try and push propaganda, and you just got to be aware of it, and you need to be very careful about it. Yeah, very careful. Like an unboxing video. Nice, dude. I've talked about it a lot before. I mean, it's happened through, again, the more popular forms of entertainment throughout history, whether it be newspapers way back in the day, television in its heyday, radio in its heyday. You know, we've seen it happen in more modern times through just pervading social media. It absolutely happens through gaming as well, you know. Propaganda is going to be the spreading of ideas and maybe even to an extent misinformation about certain organizations in how they want to win people over regarding certain kinds of ideals and beliefs. Okay, I'll give you the exact definition of it. Information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. Okay, that is propaganda. Sorry. Shares of Nintendo drop as much as 8.8% as it reportedly delays the next console. Yeah. I am not familiar with the Fortnite history stuff. I'm not familiar with that. But potentially, it just depends on what they, you know, what exactly that scenario is, situation is. Shares in Nintendo drop as much as 8.8% as it reportedly delays its next Switch console. Latest bad news for a struggling gaming sector. We've read about this. We've talked about this. If you don't know, everything that we were led to believe was that Nintendo was going to drop their hardware sometime this year. Everything I had come to be made aware of, I was speculating that it would drop sometime in this coming fall, autumn time frame. But it does look like it's been pushed back to about 12 to 13 months from now, as apparently what we're hearing, and this is not official news from Nintendo. And to be fair, we won't get official news from Nintendo probably for some time. They don't like to be very open and public about this kind of stuff until they're very, very, very close to the drop, you know. So who knows? But that's usually the way it does go for Nintendo. And what we're hearing is that they did not feel like they had enough first-party software ready or going to be ready for the release of alongside the hardware as well. So they made the decision to push it back about 6 months, something like that. Like Fortnite with the history talks and all. I could tell that was an attempt. It gets people on TikTok going to talk about it. There was a talk about Holocaust in Fortnite, like a museum. What there was potentially going to be a museum set up in Fortnite in remembrance of Holocaust victims or something? I don't understand. That's not really propaganda though. That's literally just history. It caused people to spin things around. Look, so here's the thing though. We live in a weird situation in the world where there are going to be extremists in the world. We've got extremists on a lot of different fronts, and they want to act like some of these terrible tragedies, genocidal kinds of things like the Holocaust. They want to act like it didn't happen. They want to act like things that happened in history weren't a factual representation. What we've recorded in history about these terrible things that have happened in history didn't happen. Or, you know, they always want to raise a stink about you can't prove the Holocaust happened or what. Dude, get wrecked. What are you talking about? The Holocaust didn't happen. It's literal history. It was a terrible, one of the more terrible, most disgusting genocidal things that has happened, you know what I mean, in the history of our world and of man, you know what I mean. It's a terrible example, and so when you're talking about that, that's not propaganda. That's not trying to spread ideals or beliefs or whatever. That would more be about just reminding people about the history of something terrible that happened in the history of us as human beings and the world we live in. Now, you know, people are always there's so that isn't in and of itself necessarily spreading propaganda. People addressing it and trying to act like maybe it didn't, because dude, I see it all the time. People want to, you know, address things that, like, you know, whatever. There are so many conspiracy theorists out there that feel like anything historical in the world is just a farce that was pushed upon us by governments or whatever. What is some of it? Probably some of it, maybe to an extent, but a lot of it's actual true. I mean, what the Nazis did to the you know, the Jews in Nazi Germany and everything was a historical, documented, terrible, genocidal, you know, wiping out of mass numbers of people. It's undeniable. You can't deny it. That's not propaganda. That's history. There's a difference. Now, propaganda would be more like something of, you know, a institution like, you know, say back then in Nazi Germany, you know, them trying to spread their views and beliefs by newspaper, of trying to, you know, convince people that what they were doing with their, you know, treatment of other demographics of people was justified. You know, they absolutely had propaganda that they would disseminate to try and make them look like they were doing righteous things, and try and, you know, get people to conform to their way of life when it was actually just terrible. That's what propaganda is, you know. You got to be careful about that.
Work your body to that beat.
How you doing today? EA is not propaganda. Oh, jeez, dude. Soup. Oh, man. Always can come back with something to make me smile. I love it, dude. Good stuff, dude. How are you doing today, buddy? How was your weekend? How was your weekend, dude?
It's time to get up off your knees.
Street Fighter, yeah.
And get up
Good,
on your feet.
good, dude. I love to hear it, man. I gotta
just
change
wanna
this
see
song.
you dance.
You're funny, bro. Dude, I'm the same way. Here, you know, like whenever I'm ready to build PCs and stuff, dude, I love just like having all the parts sitting around, looking at them and stuff. I'll show you. I've got a picture of it. Get me in here, man. What is happening? Just a second, I'll show you. I might have had it in the Discord too, but I don't think it's pinned. It would have been hard to find. Just a second. I don't care, man. One second. Alright, apologies. Here, let's do this. Yeah. Oh, it's not in here? Wait, what? Oh, there it is, dude. Yeah, here. Like, this was before I made this PC, you know? Just like have all the parts stacked up, ready to go. I love the unboxings, dude. I love the unboxings. I like, you know, putting everything together. Dude, I love building PCs. It's so therapeutic for me. I don't get to do it all that often, but man, I love it. It's something that I enjoy immensely. And that was back in the, I started buying these parts at the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, and put everything together around April. Yeah. Do it more often? Need more money, dude. Need more money, dude. PCs cost a bit, dude. Can't just be buying and building willy-nilly for no reason, you know? It's not set up financially well enough to be able to just keep building PCs for no reason. So I do love it though. So I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, this is a weird situation that we're in right now. We've seen SAG-AFTRA. So some video game actors are letting AI clone their voices. They just don't want it to replace them. There's a, you know, we've seen SAG-AFTRA come to some kind of apparent contract negotiation with the video gaming industry where a lot of these voice actors weren't very happy about it. But there's, you know, AI is not going away. It's only going to ramp up more and more and more. I think the big thing is having to hold these companies accountable for doing it in an ethical manner is the best we can do. It's probably not going to happen very often, but yeah, Nintendo's shares are suffering right now because of the delay of the new hardware. We know, we've seen it. We knew about the Lara Croft stuff. I would be absolutely fine with watching the Star Wars Jedi games die off. I'm so sick of Respawn, dude. I'm just so sick of Respawn. They release games in a terrible state. I'm tired of it. Of course you would say that. Of course you would say that. You're choosing violence. Choosing violence. Yo, Reject, what's up, buddy? What's going on, man? How was your weekend, Reject? New Until Dawn remake gameplay screenshots leak online. We've seen open road stuff. I'm not going to dive into that. Nightingale. We're starting this game tomorrow. No one wants Until Dawn. Oh, bro. "2024 is an unskippable ad if you think about it." To you. To you. For all of us that could give a crap less about GTA, 2024 is just fine. I can tell you're suffering, though. I can tell you're suffering, Soup. Let's see the system requirements to play Nightingale. Let's look at that. Jesus Christ. I'm so sick of Respawn. Just disgusting. Pass the time? Yeah, with VR. Yeah, Embracer, dude. We've talked a lot about Embracer. Yo, it was so cool. We saw yesterday that Embracer got called out to their faces, dude. Embracer got called out to their faces. Just straight up at the DICE Awards. It was beautiful. It was so good, dude. It was so... Embracer's entire, executive team was there. And they got absolutely... just crushed. They got burnt, dude. Sitting right there in the audience, dude. The announcers just crushed them about all this crap. It was beautiful. It was so good. It was so good, dude. We talked about it yesterday. We watched it yesterday. Oh, it was just chef's kiss, dude. Chef's kiss. And you know what, dude? That is something that so beautiful. You will not see happen anymore in Jeff Keighley's show. Jeff Keighley sold out. We talked about this at the end of last year, right? Jeff Keighley sold out. He used to be able to kind of spin some narratives in there that we needed to be aware of and address within the industry that were of a negative. Some of the bad things that were happening in the industry, and it's not there anymore. He's totally been bought out. He sold his soul, man. He sold his soul to the gaming industry. The gaming, scum lords that sit at the top. They bought out Jeff Keighley. They bought his soul, it feels like. And so the Game Awards have just become something as just a absolute corporate sham. They don't embrace the people. You're right. very well played. And it was so good to see the DICE Awards call out Embracer in there and just right straight to their faces, dude. It was like spitting in their faces. It was so good. I loved it. How many Resident Evil games are there? 183, I think. Something like that. Novato video game maker to lay off 86 employees. Feels bad. Oh, this is some of the Toys for Bob stuff. Gotcha. We already kind of know about this a little bit. The upcoming Crazy Taxi reboot is a AAA game? What? No quadruple A? And wait, Sega, are you paywalling New Game Plus? Let's take a look. Take my money, Sega man. Oh, they will. Oh, they will. Don't you worry about that. They're all in, dude. They're all in on paywalling anything they can. Don't you worry about that. Yo, Helldivers 2 is continuing to climb the concurrent player count on Steam. What was it? Pal World hit over 2 or 3 million. Look, Helldivers 2 has a long ways to go. Long ways to go. All right. You've got a little bit of that PlayStation brown on your nose. You know what I mean? You might want to take care of that soup. Oh, man. Game Pass has already confirmed 4 games for March. Let's see what we got. More terrible games? What are you talking about? You're so full of crap. Lara Croft was boo. It was hard to play. No mini map. I mean,
Step it up. Step it up.
you're talking about the original games, right? Like the Lara Croft or the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remasters, or you know, the remasters, right? When he gives that stare, I know it's not good. I mean, I think that what I was gonna get at is the same thing I talk about a lot of time with these remasters, remakes. You have to be very careful from a developer standpoint of not pushing the game too far away from what it was originally. You're catering to an audience that, you know, is obviously in large part going to be people that have been a fan of this series for a long time, and you don't want to change things too much. Yeah, there's definitely something like if you're remaking the game, it would probably be more appropriate for them to take a look at whether or not a mini-map should be introduced into the game. But as a remaster, they're not going to be tearing the game down and building it back up. So you've got to understand that that's the way the game was originally, right? Add yellow paint. Yo, that's a play off of the Rebirth getting trolled about having yellow paint everywhere on the climbing stuff, right? So I don't know, man. I think that the original games didn't have it. The original games didn't have mini maps, I'm sure. So it's absolutely doable. See, this is the way we used to play games, though, back in the day, you know? People have gotten... I mean, I was playing a game here recently, too, though, where I was like, you know, a mini-map would be fantastic. This is fine. So, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, too. But these are games from back in the day whenever they just weren't as elaborate. There wasn't as much that could be done in them as there can be nowadays as well, right? So... Oh, are you sick, Soup? Look at that yellow frog. What kind of frog is that? What are you talking about? Are you talking about pot friend? What are you talking about? Oh, dude. The emote I sent? That's not a frog, dog. That's not a frog. Dude, that's from flipping Elden Ring, dude. Or other Souls games, too. No. Bandletell, a League of Legends story review. Cute, but tiring. Let's see what this is. Yo, look at this. Look at this. US dollars 102.13 billion growth opportunity in gaming market from 2022 to 2027. 8.51% year-over-year growth expected. But we keep hearing reports of the industry doing worse and worse. What? People are getting laid off. You know? It's a weird look, dude. SF6 is improving a fan favorite feature. Is it the new Chun-Li mod? Sorry, too soon. Yo, this is what we were talking about yesterday. Hawked. Hawked is looking pretty bad. It was Davey told me about this yesterday, right? Davey told me about this yesterday. Hawked has a review score of 52% on Steam. Bugs, optimization problems, kind of pervading it often, unfortunately. The approach to monetization with plenty of paid add-ons available right out the gate raised some eyebrows. So pay to win, it looks like. Feels bad, dude. Yeah. Feels bad. Probably not a good play there. Yeah. You mean quadruple A, right? You mean quadruple A? Yes, we do know that Tencent is working on getting an Elden Ring game on mobile. We know that. Alan Wake 2 has now sold 1.3 million copies so far, breaking Remedy records, and apparently is still not profitable for the company. And the game's trash, in my opinion. It's not very good. I probably wouldn't rate that game over like a 6. Again, I think with the way that I got soft locked out of it, I wouldn't rate it over a 4. Had I been able to finish the game, it probably would have been somewhere around a 6, 6.5. It wasn't very good. Diablo 4's latest mount is more expensive than the game itself. Go Blizzard. $700 Ubisoft workers go on strike. Let's go. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's going to turn... After Disney's massive Epic Games deal, is Mickey Mouse coming to Fortnite? That'll turn Fortnite into a horror game. Call of Duty 2024 to reportedly launch on Game Pass on day 1. Now let's hear it, Soup. As somebody who is always talking about how good COD is and is also always wanting to talk crap about Xbox and Game Pass and everything. There we go. Now, I don't know if this is reportedly, it's not confirmed, but yeah, okay. We'll wait until we see if this is official or not, but it looks like this is they're speculating this could be the case right now. Yeah, we've already talked about this kind of crap. Most of the games there are garbage, bro. Oh, jeez. I respect your opinion, Soup. Yeah, I think Game Pass is pretty good as well. It's, in my opinion, by far and away, the best streaming gaming, video gaming streaming service there is, without a doubt. I know Soup's choosing violence. Soup's choosing violence. He does this on purpose. Yeah, he's trying to get a rise out of me. That opinion causes World War VII. Is Skull and Bones worth playing? No. A quadruple A game, 11 years in development. Quadruple A is what their CEO calls it. And here's your ratings. 64, a 3 by users. This is going to have a little bit of some review bombing in it. But yeah, this is going to be probably a pretty forgettable experience right now. Oh, I don't think so. You stop that. We've talked about that enough, though. Yeah. Soup was talking about this yesterday, actually. Demo potentially coming for Dragon's Dogma 2, which is good. Demos are good. They're not always going to be indicative of your experience of a game, but they should be in at least some capacity. They are limited, normally fairly limited in what you're going to experience, but they should give you a pretty good idea of what what the game has in store for you, right? So again, I'll be playing this on release next month, and I don't have a lot of reservations, really any, about what the quality of this game is going to bring to the table for us. Capcom is pretty good at their game releases. They're usually pretty polished. They release in a finished state. And Dragon's Dogma 1 Dark Arisen was a game I put 130 hours into. It was fantastic. And everything I've seen about Dragon's Dogma 2 looks like it's just an evolution of a lot of the same kind of stuff we got in Dragon's Dogma 1. So I'm very excited about it. Said new fridge to play games. Yeah. I mean, that's funny. Yeah. I think it's funny. Oh, God. Stretch it out, dude. Oh, no. Tekken 8 adding microtransactions have entered the battle with new shop feature. Yay. God damn. All right, let's stick with this. Okay. Tekken 8 adding microtransactions. There you go, Soup. Good feature. You support it. You would. You would. Yeah. You can't think beyond 2025. You're not fooling me, dude. We know that we're not getting flipping Tekken 9 for like 7 or 8 more years. You're trying to act like you can actually think of anything beyond 2025. You're not fooling me, dude. Get wrecked. I know better, dude. Yeah, baby. Thanks, Reject. Tekken 8 adding microtransactions with new shop feature. Tekken 8 could be adding microtransactions in its upcoming shop feature. Players are already divided on whether this is a good thing. It was kind of inevitable in my opinion. It's gonna be all about cosmetics. We know that. So let's just read this instead of just the bullet points. Tekken 8 might be adding microtransactions through its new Tekken shop. Fans are already divided. The latest Tekken game launched in January, Tekken 8, to rave reviews. Yeah, people are enjoying it. Many praising Tekken 8 for its plot, aggressive gameplay, improved visual presentation. Tekken 8 has already surpassed publisher Bandai Namco's sales expectations mere weeks after release, and this success will likely continue as the game's post-launch DLC wave is released. Starting with a fan favorite, Capoeira expert Eddie Gordo. Eddie! Yeah, boy. Eddie be swinging around doing the crazy fighting stuff. However, it seems that Tekken 8 will continue a controversial trend in the gaming industry, microtransactions. Yeah. Players can purchase additional items with real-life currency in countless video games, but microtransactions have come under intense scrutiny when used in full-price AAA fighting game releases. For example, Street Fighter 6 came under fire over the unusually high cost of its alternate DLC character skins. Likewise, Mortal Kombat 1 drew considerable backlash for charging players to unlock special fatalities like a Halloween-themed kill animation released last October. which really wasn't even all that good, and it was like, what, $15 to $20? It was insane. Tekken 8 recently indicated that it will be adding its own microtransactions through its upcoming Tekken shop, as revealed in an in-game message players received when logging in earlier this week. Fans initially theorized that this new shop will use Tekken 8's in-game fight money currency for its purchases, but the announcement message seemingly disproves this by stating that the game's ESRB rating has been updated to mention in-game purchases, all but confirming that real-world money will be involved. Yep. The news of the possible microtransaction store has already generated a mixed response online. Some are decrying the implication of microtransactions as a universally negative thing. Others feel that Tekken 8 deserves the benefit of the doubt given how much content is already in the base game. These fans see no issue with Tekken 8 selling legacy skins of existing characters and other minor cosmetic items at a reasonable price, along with the already confirmed DLC characters like the aforementioned Eddie Gordo. I think you're talking about a game that is, I mean, how long was Tekken 7? Tekken 7 was like 8 years old, right? Oh, dude, it was like almost 9 years old. Almost 9 years old. So here's the thing. I think that when you take into consideration a game that is potentially going to be running close to a decade in length for its life cycle, I'm more accepting of a title like this, even though it does cost normally a AAA price tag, incorporating a little bit of monetization, especially when it's long-standing titles like Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat. You know, giving people the option to continue to support in a monetary fashion if they're continuing to get entertainment out of it. Absolutely not okay with pay to win, you know, things like that. And it needs to be reasonable, right? There's an extent to it. I'm not going to be like, microtransactions are absolutely just not okay at all. I think you got to be reasonable here. This is a game, Tekken 8, that just released, that is probably going to be something in existence for the next 8 to 9 years before it gets replaced with its next edition. Yeah. And so to try and support the development team behind it, and you know, I understand it. Everybody has a bit of a different way of approaching this, talking about this, and I'm always open to discussions about it, but I'm not just blatantly outright against this notion. You know me, I'm more accepting of heavy monetization in a game whenever it's something that's at a lower price point for people to get into, something where it, especially even free to play. But when you know a game like this is going to have a very long lifespan, as long as they're doing this in a way that doesn't feel abused, people don't have to buy into it. That's the thing, right? People don't have to buy into these mechanics. It's there for people that want to, you know, continue to support the developer in helping to bring more content to the game and things like that. So, you know, just because it's there doesn't mean that you have to buy into it. And you know, as long as it's not giving people an advantage with any kind of pay to win, I can be a little bit more accepting of a title like this, incorporating some monetization to continue to generate some revenue for the sustaining the game long term. There is currently no official word on when the microtransaction-based Tekken shop will be added to the Tekken 8 or what it might entail. Such information could come during this week's confirmed Tekken Talk livestream. The announcement itself has already sparked a discourse among Tekken 8's large fan base, so Bandai Namco may wish to tread carefully when it comes to the game's upcoming microtransaction model. If it wishes to retain the goodwill Tekken 8 has generated in less than a month on the market. The other thing that I would like to see, though, is like that, you know, not every single outfit, not, you know, don't make everything paywalled. That's what I think that, in a game like this, you also want to see people be able to grind out some of the customization. So don't make everything paywall. Give people the opportunity, because you are making people pay for a game like this up front, right? People are paying for this game up front. So you're talking about a title, a AAA title that people are paying for up front, and you appropriately, everything shouldn't be, as far as customizing for skins and things of that nature, shouldn't be paywall. There should be a at least moderate amount of this that is also grindable by you as the player in already paying up front a substantial amount of money to play this game. So, there's a balance here. There's a balance to this. And I understand to an extent why, I'm accepting of this to an extent. But they also need to be taking care of their consumers here and making sure that this is not just something that's going to become grossly monetized, right? Until Dawn remake gameplay screenshots leak online. Spicy. Several new Until Dawn remake gameplay screenshots have leaked online showing the game's third-person perspective for the first time. Yeah, dude. The screenshots were uploaded to the Reddit Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit by user Matt the MLG Pro, but you can see the images here. Admittingly, the images do not reveal much, but they do suggest that the game will have new content, as the developers promised. The Until Dawn remake is scheduled to be released later this year on PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC, and will be rebuilt on Unreal Engine 5. The official PlayStation blog reads, rebuilt in UE5. Until Dawn has seen enhancements across the board, all made with passion and care for the original, from the team of horror lovers, film fanatics, and veteran game makers at Ballistic Moon, and it's coming to PS5 and PC this year. They didn't want to mention Xbox. Haters. Until Dawn has been rebuilt with the latest tools and techniques, new and improved animations built on the success of the original character performances. Characters, environments, and VFX have been upgraded, all for a truly enhanced cinematic horror experience. We use a broader cinematic tonal color palette and new perspectives to make the story more nuanced and emotional. We've been brave enough to shine a light into the dark, unseen corners of Blackwood Mountain and add a third-person camera, which means you can now look behind the curtain of the original game, exploring enhanced and new locations with new interactions and collectibles. Incorporating a third-person camera and adding contextual character movement animations, the game now allows the player to really feel the experience of that fateful night. Until Dawn sound has undergone a massive overhaul too, featuring a new score from legendary horror composer Mark Corvin. Until Dawn will also be getting a film adaptation from PlayStation Productions and Sony's Screen Gems, which is believed to be in early production currently. Let's see let's see if we can pull these up. Well, these are phenomenal. Bruh. I mean, it looks like somebody was taking a picture of an old, like tube TV with a flip phone or something. You know what I mean? So, dude. I mean, what we can take away does look decent. But they're hard to see, dude. They're a little bit brutal. System requirements to play Nightingale on PC, which we're playing starting tomorrow. Nightingale is going to begin tomorrow. Yeah, I'm excited. 64 gigs of RAM? No! A 4090? No! Nightingale aims to become the next big hit in the survival genre amidst the unprecedented success of Pal World and Enshrouded. The beginning of 2024 has brought the release of many survival video games, and all of them are achieving impressive numbers. The upcoming release of Nightingale will add another option for those that love challenging survival experiences. The game allows you to explore the mysterious Fey realms in a unique adventure set in a universe full of magical creatures, arcane technology, and beautiful landscapes. We watched this twice already. Yeah, this is the 8-minute one. We've watched this twice. If you guys want to watch it again, let me know in chat. I'll play it. That's fine. But we have watched it twice. Impressive graphics have a cost. Nightingale features impressive graphics, but they come at a cost. System requirements to play the game on PC are a bit demanding. The performance expectations are quite high. Developer Inflection Games, indie developer, by the way. We love our indie developers, right? Soup, right? Soup, right? Has squeezed out every drop of potency from the Unreal Engine 5 to create an immersive survival experience. But the game will be dropping FSR3 on its launch build due to problems detected during the latest test phase. However, the game will still support XeSS and DLSS technologies, fantastic, for NVIDIA users. You can check out the full list of system requirements that your PC needs to meet to play Nightingale via Steam. The minimum specs would be a Core i5-4430, Windows 10, 16 gigs of RAM, a GTX 1060, or an Radeon RX 580, or an Intel Arc A580, DirectX version 12, and 70 gigs of available space. Recommended specs. So you understand this. If you're running closer to these minimum specs, be prepared for a lackluster experience, probably. Yeah, you're talking, it won't look great, and you're probably going to be dealing with some significantly reduced frame rates, maybe even some stuttering, things like that, right? Recommended PC system requirements. Talking in Core i5-8600, still only 16 gigs of RAM, a GeForce RTX 2060 Super, or a Radeon RX 5700 XT, DirectX version 12, and still 70 gigs of available space. And I'm willing to bet, as everybody, we have gotten to here at this point, games are not really being tested on HDDs anymore. They're not being developed on HDDs anymore. They're talking about solid state drive storage space. It doesn't mean it won't work on an HDD, but you're going to probably be incurring some very long load times if that's the case. The release of Nightingale is scheduled for tomorrow on early access on Steam. There are high expectations about the game, although it's yet to be seen if it becomes as popular as other recent releases in the same genre. If you want to give the game an opportunity to discover its universe, feel free to use our comparator to buy a Steam key at the best price. Yeah, it's full price, $30. You can see under my camera, see this? $30 is going to be the early access price for this game. You might be able to get it at some reduced prices on maybe like Fanatical or Green Man Gaming. You can usually get regular retail price games at about 17 to 18% off. So you would save a few bucks there, right? But I am playing this tomorrow. I'm very excited about Nightingale. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. The premise around it is very intriguing. And I can't wait to just be zooming around all Mary Poppins, like, you know what I mean, with my umbrella. I want to bedazzle the crap out of that thing. Be running around shoving spoons full of sugar into monsters' mouths and stuff. It's going to be fantastic. Novato video game maker to lay off 86 employees. This is something that is going to just be adding to what we already knew about Toys for Bob layoffs and stuff, it appears. But Novato video game maker to lay off 86 employees. Let's try it up. That'll work. A Novato gaming company is set to lay off 86 employees at the end of March. The employees work for Activision Blizzard developer Toys for Bob, which was incorporated in 2002. The developer is known for such titles as Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and Skylanders. Activision, whose titles includes Call of Duty, acquired the Toys for Bob studio for an undisclosed price in 2005, so 19 years ago. Activision did not respond to a request for comment. An employee that answered the intercom at the studio space at Hamilton Landing declined to comment on the company's plans. The layoffs come on the heels of Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard in October for almost $69 billion. The acquisition was the biggest U.S. tech deal in history. Yes. In a filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, Microsoft wrote, Activision Blizzard, yeah. All that we know. Yeah, so towards the in January, right, we found out that Microsoft was laying off roughly 1,900 people from their 22,000 employee team or workforce from their gaming division, right? And what we found out was that there were layoffs coming under Activision and Blizzard, but that there was also part of this coming under Xbox, and most of the layoffs under Xbox were being attributed to a division that handled a lot of their physical game releases, as apparently they're ramping that down now, and trying to move more into the digital, which, I mean, makes sense, right? We know that's a place we've been headed for a long time. PC's been there forever. Console's been a lot more reluctant to adopt that, and we know there are a number of reasons why, but Xbox does look like they're trying to move more in the direction of digital, and that's where some of those layoffs happened under their own company. In addition to the layoffs in Nevada, the state's latest WARN notice, the acronym refers to the Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act, contains an additional 812 Activision layoffs effective on March 30th throughout the state. So we've got another over 800 layoffs coming, 478 in Irvine, 208 in Santa Monica, 76 in San Mateo, and 49 in Woodland Hills. Challenger, Gray, and Christmas, an executive outplacement firm in Chicago, reported in January the tech sector led all industries in job cut announcements last year with 168,000, up 73% from the just over 97,000 cuts announced in 2022. It estimated that the video gaming industry alone had 6,000 job cuts in 2023. We had actually read that it was closer to 10,000. There's a website that tracks all the layoffs in the video gaming industry, and it was closer to 10,000. I think it was under that, but it was mid 9,000s. So it was being rounded to 10,000. The tech sector will continue to be impacted by the onset of AI mergers and acquisitions and realigning of resources and talent, the report said. Layoffs have continued this year. We've already almost hit 6,000 job cuts in the video gaming sector alone in 2024, just by the end of last month. Most of them attributed to what we talked about earlier in this article from Microsoft, or at least a large chunk of them. The layoffs have continued this year, with Google cutting about 1,000 employees. Twitch continues to just obliterate their workforce, laying off another 500 employees, a third of their staff, a third of Twitch staff. And Amazon firing hundreds of workers at Amazon Prime Video and MGM Studios. Mike Blakely, Chief Executive Officer at Marin Economic Forum, public-private partnership designed to foster growth in the country, wrote in an email, the layoffs are consistent with the trends in the corporate sector nationwide. Business restructuring to reduce costs along with greater consolidation. Game companies' revenue skyrocketed during the pandemic when people were sheltering in their homes with a limited number of entertainment options. Some companies expanded too fast, thinking that the good times would last forever. Look, this is not all of it, though. I've talked about this. This is not all of it. We've watched what's happened. A portion of these layoffs can be attributed to the hiring bloat that happened during the pandemic, right? There's been a lot of bad business decisions, though. A ton of bad business decisions where these high-level executives have gone, let's purchase these companies. Let's, invest in these companies. Let's do, and a lot of it hasn't panned out. And then what happens is they, on the back end, start suffering because those business investments were proved to be poor decisions. And who pays the price? The lower level employees do. So instead of, you know, these people that made these decisions in the first place, taking pay cuts, not getting bonuses or anything like that, they fire people at the bottom of the company to make ends meet. And there's never any clarity about it. We get bits and pieces here and there, but not all of this is pandemic bloat hire, attributed. It's just not, dude. Marin has had several video game companies come and go over the years. One notable example is Lucasfilm Games, which got its start at LucasArts Entertainment in San Rafael in '82 before moving to San Francisco's Presidio with other Lucas companies in 2005. Another is Telltale Games, founded in San Rafael in 2004. It grew rapidly because of the popularity of its adaptation of the Walking Dead graphic novel before laying off nearly all of their almost 300 employees in September of 2018. It's a rough look, dude. It's a rough look. It's not an easy thing to navigate, but it's not all pandemic bloat hire. Some of it is. Some of it's, some of these companies hired too much. They had to take on a lot because they were being, the demand for the gaming industry was very high at the time. Not that it's not normally very high. It's a very lucrative industry, right? But the pandemic definitely presented a situation where people were not able to go outside their homes very often. They were needing a way to interact with other people. So especially live service games, presenting online communities, things like that were something that people looked for in large part to take the place of maybe things they would do, like going out and hanging out with people, so they did it in a virtual space, and video games provides that very easily. So many of these companies did overhire. I'm not denying that at all, but we've seen company after company after company over the past 3 years also be engaged in terrible business decisions, whether it be Epic, Embracer, that just haven't panned out. I mean, the list can go on and on and on. And the people that pay the price for these bad business decisions are the employees. The ends don't meet. The first thing they do is fire people, right? It's just, it happens all the time. And there's no clarity. There's no transparency that comes out from these companies about, exactly what the case is. It's always a default standard, public announcement about, we love our employees, we really wish it didn't come to this, or whatever. And it's just the same thing over and over. So consider me not surprised, I guess, but it is a daunting look when you take into consideration that last year we had roughly close to 10,000 layoffs in the video gaming industry alone, and we're already well over halfway past that in a month and a half into this year. It's not looking good. The upcoming Crazy Taxi reboot is a AAA game according to Sega. No quadruple A though. My dude, what's up? The upcoming Crazy Taxi reboot, yeah, it's one of the a number of classic Sega games getting modern reboots. There's about 5 of them. They're like Shinobi and Spyro. Is Spyro one, I think. Today's y'all B-Day, dude? For reals? Yo, word up. Happy birthday, dude. Happy birthday to you. Sick, dude. Happy birthday, man. That's awesome. What do you got planned, man? Is the family gonna celebrate? Celebrate. Everybody wish Barrett a very happy birthday, man. Our dude, Barrett. Just turning 24 years old this year. Incredible, dude. Incredible. A new report in the Japan Times looks at Sega's Sapporo studio, which was established in 2021, the end of 2021, and helps with the development of various Sega games. Okay. What are we taking away here? Yeah, Sega announced at the Game Awards in December that it was developing new entries in the Jet Set Radio, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Shinobi, and Crazy Taxi series. Yeah, these are the 5. My bad. It was unclear how big their budgets would be. The original Crazy Taxi enjoyed some success as an arcade game in 1999. Became far more popular when a home version was released on the Dreamcast. Yeah, dude, in 2000, ultimately becoming the 3rd best-selling game on the console in the U.S. It's seen a number of sequels and spin-offs. The last entirely new main entry series was Crazy Taxi 3, released 22 years ago on Xbox. Yeah, look, Sega's kind of gross right now. They recently published Infinite Wealth that has New Game Plus paywalled. Whether that can be attributed in large part to Sega or RGG, the developer, I don't know. Either way, both of their names are on that game. And paywalling something like New Game Plus is disgusting. It should never happen. So I think that everybody should be hyper aware of that situation and be very, very careful about either one of those companies. So the Crazy Taxi reboot, we've seen it. It looks pretty cool so far. A lot of these reboots look cool. We've seen little snippets, little clips and highlights from all 5 of these, and they look pretty neat. But it's important to be careful here about what we've seen recently from Sega. You start trying to do things like paywall something like New Game Plus, that's a very, very unhealthy thing for the industry and what they're bringing to the table for us as consumers. You start paywalling things like New Game Plus, dude, that's a snowball that we really, really don't want to get rolling. That's a bad look, man. Xbox Game Pass has already confirmed 4 games for March. Here you go, Soup. This is for you, buddy. What we got? MLB The Show 24. Lightyear Frontier. Yo, this is the one where you're like, you're basically, it looks kind of like a cozy farming game, but you're doing it all driving a mech and everything. Absolutely disgusting ferret. Yeah, no doubt about it, dude. Open Roads. This game is actually just getting ready to release, and it looks, it's got some famous names behind the voice acting in it. It's also, it looks, it's kind of got like a mystery, it's like a visual novel. It's got Choices Matter in it. You're trying to track down, some elements and information about what happened to, I think like this kid's grandparent or something, and they're doing it with their mother, and it looks like it could be a cool experience. There's a little bit of hype around this, and it looks very cool. The art style is neat. This could be a cool title right here. And last and absolutely least, Diablo 4. Diablo 4 on March 28th. We already knew about this, but yeah, there you go. So these are the games coming in March so far. There will be more that we find out about coming up, but so far this is what is being announced or thought to be coming. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Dude, choosing violence, I guess, right? Bandletel, a League of Legends story review. Cute but tiring. The game is very cute, but it is also tiring. Here's our review of Bandletel, a League of Legends story, its gameplay, story, and score. we saw something about this a little while back, but it was before I think anybody had really gotten their hands on it. It was just like a preview. It's the cutest League of Legends game so far, but it's almost as tiring to get through as the original game. Nevertheless, it's pretty fun. If you're interested in the game or are checking to see if it's worth the price, and read on for our review, Score of Bandletale. Look at its gameplay and story. Let's look at this real quick. Fishy! I think this is the League of Legends game that Murdoch's been waiting for. Pretty sure. All right. See what they have to say about this. Releasing on February 21st, so 2 days from now. Be available on Switch, PC, on Steam, GOG, and the Epic Game Store. You can either pre-order the regular version or the digital deluxe. Woo woo! It's a crafting RPG set in the world of Bandle City, the place the Yordle race lives in. In the League of Legends universe, players control a Yordle and must travel across Bandle City, solving the problems that its residents may have. Along the way, the player may run into various famous Yordles such as Timu, Lulu, Corki, and more. Craft items, throw parties, save the world, but not necessarily in that order. Let's get the summary of what they're saying. It's a pretty long article. I'll let you read it if you're interested, but the get the gist of this. Bandletale review summary. Overall, Bandletale's gameplay and story lend it to being a good game to sink hours into. It's not going to be a game that you will play multiple playthroughs of, that's for sure. However, that doesn't make the game any less bad. It just makes it different. That's okay. It's very fun, very cute, albeit tiring to play, but it's still worth the time you put into it. They gave it an 8 out of 10. So if you want to see their entire review, then I'll link this for you. And it'll also obviously be in our video gaming news channel of the Discord if you want to go check it out there after we finish the news. Okay, so there you go. Street Fighter 6 is improving a fan favorite feature. What are we talking about here? While Tekken 8 is the newest game in town, SF6 remains in the conversation for the best fighting game in the business, including nude mods, you know? Bro. Too soon? Street Fighter 6 has continued to support fans with post-launch DLC fighters, and that's about to continue when Ed comes to the game later this month. While the returning fighter is understandably generating the bulk of the hype about the DLC, Capcom isn't resting on its laurels. Instead, the team is introducing a significant update to one of the side features fans love in Street Fighter 6. Photo mode has been a boon for players since launch, and it's about to get even better. So from Capcom, or Street Fighter, lose yourself in the moment. An extra lighting feature will be added to photo mode with the Ed update, making it easier to capture in dark places, illuminating characters for better shots. The photo mode update is coming very soon to Street Fighter 6 will give players more control over their lighting. Capcom is calling it the extra lighting feature and gave fans a quick look at how they can use it as essentially a flash for their in-game camera. This means the darkest areas of a fight stage can now be illuminated to make sure your characters have the best lighting possible to show off those really nice mods that you have for their outfits, or lack thereof, if you will. On top of making things brighter, artistic players will be able to use it to help set the mood in a shot. With more lighting dials to fiddle with, players have full control over how their shots look. It may seem like a small thing at first glance, but lighting is everything when trying to capture some shots. This lets players dial in their settings to their exact specifications. The best news is that you don't have to wait much longer to get this, and Ed in Street Fighter 6. This update, along with Ed, hits on February 27th. Yeah, Evo is going to be hitting in July this year. Street Fighter 6, this will be the second year of the Evo fighting tournament for Street Fighter 6. It'll be the first year, though, for Tekken 8. And Tekken 8 is going to be big hype because of the new Tekken game, right? So, but both are always big plays at Evo. So, we'll probably watch a little bit of Evo together. But just so you know, February 27th is the update for the new camera mode and for Ed being added to the game. All right. Oh, here we go. Yo, I mean, if we didn't have, dude, if my rip on Diablo 4 earlier wasn't good enough, here we go. Diablo 4's latest mount is more expensive than the game itself. So higher than $40 or $50. It's probably somewhere around $45, $50, I'm guessing. The Vitreous Scourge mount in Diablo 4 costs more than the game does. Diablo 4 is no stranger to microtransactions. Since launch, the developers at Blizzard have consistently given players ways to spend real-world money on in-game items, including 3 season passes so far. The latest bundle and offer might be the most egregious yet. As part of Update 1.3.2, D4 has added the Vitreous Scourge mount bundle, which you can buy for $65 US. The base Diablo 4 game is currently on sale as part of Valentine's Day deal for $42, meaning the bundle is currently more expensive than the game. Jesus Christ. Granted, this is a limited time deal for D4. The base game normally costs $70, so the bundle won't be more expensive for much longer. Also worth noting, the bundle isn't just the mount. You get a host of other items, including 7,000 platinum. That's the currency players can use to buy other cosmetics in D4, and that much platinum would normally cost about 75. So it's technically a deal? It feels like this is a deal they should be promoting. Giving people the base game, like, buy the base game right now for, you know, 60. If they're selling the base game, right? No deal. Yeah, exactly. If they're selling the base game right now for $42, it feels like they should be like, yo, buy. If you're trying to bait people into buying the game, I could see this a little bit more. Baiting people into buying the base game at the full price of like $70 or even $60. You know, you get Diablo 4 and a limited time mount and 7,000 platinum to use in the game or something. You know what I mean? But no, that's not the case. You know? Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. No deal. That said, it's definitely a questionable look for Diablo 4. After all, many players already look at D4's monetization as a cash grab from Blizzard. Big surprise, trying to squeeze every last dollar out of their players. Again, it's technically not a bad deal if you were already planning to spend money on platinum, but for a mount bundle, this is a bordering on the absurd. Fortunately, there's still plenty of Diablo 4 content you can play without spending extra, with much more on the way. Yeah, what's next? They're in the middle of the 3rd season now. They're introducing the Gauntlet, which has been pushed back but should be coming soon, which is Diablo 4's version of Challenge Rifts from D3. It is coming to Game Pass, which we just talked about on March 28th. But only for Game Pass Ultimate subscribers. You have to be an Ultimate subscriber to be able to access D4. All right. All right, there you go, man. You know, consider me not surprised that Blizzard is implementing something disgusting like this. I mean, this is why I don't play Blizzard games anymore and haven't for quite some time, right? It's 40% off. D4 is 40% off through the Blizzard app for all editions. Yeah. So what's the base edition at then? Yeah, I knew it was on sale on Steam too. That's like the $42 price tag, right? Yeah, that's what we just talked about. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I was getting at, was that, you know, if they're going to be selling it even at 42 on sale, and if they were trying to bait more people into like buying the game and playing the game, then, you know, maybe they sell it at a, you know, for that bundle or whatever, like to come, it'd be more appropriate for it to come with the game. Be like, yo, if you buy the game at full price right now, then you'll get extra platinum, you'll get a limited time mount, it'll come with the game. You know, I'd at least be a little bit more accepting of that, because honestly, this game, for I think how long it's been out now, what people kind of overall think about the game and everything, it shouldn't be selling at a, you know, $70 price point, honestly. But that's Blizzard. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. 700 Ubisoft workers go strike is the last article I have, and we'll figure out what we're gonna play today. I know, like I said to begin the stream, oh yeah. It's not, you know, most people are. It's. I think the experience is very mediocre. This is what I'd say. You know, I was not a fan of Diablo 3. I didn't expect Diablo 4 to be fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. Just because I was such a huge fan of Diablo 1 and 2, it still, you know, got me a little bit hyped. But I was so far gone on being able to support Blizzard at all that there was no way I was going to be buying and playing Diablo 4 just to see if it was going to redeem itself at all, you know, that franchise. So, you know, Path of Exile for me is definitely something much better than Diablo has been over its past 2 iterations. As well as, like, there are games maybe worth checking out, like, this is on sale right now. The Last Epoch. This game just is full releasing right now. It's getting ready to full release. And it's supposed to be a pretty decent ARPG. You're looking at an 85% positive. There are other games out there to try. You know what I mean? That you know, are going to be a lower price point. And not going to be supporting a company like Blizzard. There are definitely other ones out there. Grim Dawn's actually dope. It doesn't have like as much of an online component as Diablo does, you know, but this is a 93% positive game. I own it. It's very good. It's a great top-down hack and slash ARPG, you know, game. It's a lot of fun. I haven't played it in a long time. A lot of content's been added since I originally played it, but even whenever I played it back earlier in its release, it was very, very good, and I enjoyed it a lot. So I don't know. There are different games for people to try other than just, you know, something as kind of scummy as what Blizzard's pushing out with D4. Yeah, and what's the so while we're at it, let's look at 69% positive. Yeah, it feels bad. It feels bad. Feels bad. I mean, I think for any fan of I don't think it's gonna be a terrible game. I just don't think it's gonna be phenomenal. I don't think it's gonna be a great experience. If for anybody that's been a fan of Blizzard over the years, especially from the early days of Blizzard, like myself, this sucks. You know, it sucks. They definitely have fallen away and are not even a I mean, they're not even a shell of what they used to be. Which is why I hope that Microsoft turns them back into something respectable at least. They'll never be what they were. But something respectable again would be fantastic. They lost their way. They lost themselves. Blizzard did. You know? It's unfortunate. It really is. Breaks my gamer heart, dude. Last article I have, and then we're going to play games today. I don't know if I'm doing Stardew, man. So I said this at the beginning of the stream. The title says it as well. I don't know if I'm playing Stardew today. I woke up and was just, I don't know if I'm feeling it. So, I think Stardew is a great game. It's just not something that is really, really hitting my vibes for content for streaming the game and stuff like that. So, and if we don't play it, you know, again, like I said at the beginning of the news segment, you know, I'll apologize in advance to Ferret and Tinwin and True for, you know, not caring to really continue that gameplay. It happens. Sometimes, you know, I'll start playing a game and it just doesn't really grasp me the way I thought it would. And again, I think the game's great. I think it's got a lot to offer. But as far as something for me and what I'm looking for streaming content and you know, things like that, it just feels a bit boring for me. So I don't know. We'll see what happens after we do the news, but just so everybody knows, I'm not sure what I'm going to be playing today. 700 Ubisoft workers go on strike. If anybody has anything else to add to the news segment before we finish up, then let me know in chat, and we'll address it before we move on. Okay. I kind of figured that sentiment was going to be coming, right? 700 Ubisoft workers go on strike. A significant event has occurred in the gaming world. More than 700 workers who are part of a union at different Ubisoft offices in France have decided to go on strike together. They're doing this because they are not happy with how their yearly pay talks went with Ubisoft management. This means they feel dissatisfied with the way Ubi has handled their salaries for the year, which has led to this coordinated action. According to Forbes, Ubi stands as a prominent figure in the realm of interactive entertainment and services, boasting a portfolio that includes beloved titles such as Assassin's Creed and Just Dance, among many, many others, right? Established, you know, we got Far Cry, you got all the Tom Clancy stuff. The list goes on and on and on. Established back in '86 by the entrepreneurial spirit of the Guillemot brothers, Ubisoft traces its origins to the picturesque landscapes of Brittany, France, where its foundational roots remain deeply entrenched to this day. The company's journey from its humble beginnings to its current global stature reflects a narrative of innovation, creativity, and a steadfast commitment to delivering immersive gaming experiences to audiences worldwide. I feel like they used to be much better at this. I feel like what they're known for now is just repeating the same thing over and over and over. I will say this. I think that they did a good job with bringing Prince of Persia back into the fold in a different way than what we had seen in its previous iterations, which were at that point, you know, fairly old. And I think the pivot into bringing it in the form of a side-scrolling 2.5D Metroidvania type of game, dude, I think that was really, really smart, and I think they did a good job with it. I haven't played it, but everything I know is that it's a pretty solid play. But, you know, pop out a new Assassin's Creed game every year. Assassin's Creed games, you know, in large part are just the same thing people have already seen. There's not a lot of innovation there. Far Cry's the same thing. I don't know. It's then you see something like Skull and Bones that's been in development for 11 years. They want to call it quadruple A, and it's really very lackluster. A game that's been in development for 11 years should be blowing people's flipping minds. It should be blowing people's minds. And it's very, very subpar right now from what the consensus reviews are telling us, right? So I mean, you take a look at Ubi, and they've had a tumultuous past like half decade too, with a lot of the things we found out about mismanagement, a lot of, you know, harassment type of allegations and stuff that have come down throughout that company. There's a lot of bad, and they're not really the inventive, you know, innovative developer and publisher that they used to be. Let's be fair, they really aren't. Renowned as a titan in the video gaming realm, Ubi boasts a storied legacy marked by a slew of captivating titles and widespread influence. Among its illustrious catalog stand out releases such as Anno 1800, Far Cry, and Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which also appears to have been a pretty solid game, have garnered acclaim from fans worldwide, solidifying Ubisoft's position as a powerhouse in interactive entertainment. Nevertheless, recent years have ushered in a new set of challenges for the gaming giant, some of its ambitious projects encountering setbacks in the form of delays and cancellations. Yeah, Skull and Bones was delayed close to 10 times. Close to 10 times. It's noteworthy that this recent event is not an isolated occurrence of employee dissatisfaction within Ubi. In 2023, a cohort of employees staged protests and initiated a strike due to their discontent with the company's practices. The pattern suggests a recurrent challenge where Ubisoft's progress is hindered by recurring employee grievances, underscoring the ongoing struggle for alignment between company actions and employee values. Consider me not surprised. I don't know. You know, for the past few years, this company has actually been one that's been considered to be on the hot seat, if you will, in regards to potentially needing to sell out and be bought out by another company. They haven't been doing great, and this does not help, right? I mean, there are a lot of things that haven't really been going their way. They're bound to still have a decent release here and there. They're too big not to. That's what I say about these kinds of companies. Workers want their share of the quadruple A gaming revenue. That's right. That's right, dude. Well played, man. I say this about these big companies a lot. Well, you want to talk about Ubi, you want to talk about EA, Activision, Blizzard, 2K, you name it. It doesn't matter. If they're that big, it's inevitable. No matter how scummy they are and how many terrible releases they have, they're bound to get a good one here and there. Their umbrella's too big, their reach is too big. They have too many subsidiaries to not occasionally get a decent game underneath their release. And so it happens. But when you take a look at the grand scheme of how many game releases they have and how many actually come out and have pretty solid content and how many of them are, you know, actually released in a finished state, stuff like that, it does start feeling very few and far between, you know. And for Ubi especially, I think that this is a company where I think that for the longest time now, they've just been content in pushing out the same content in large part in the next iteration of their popular titles. You know, just set it in a different scenario, slap a different kind of, you know, setting on it or whatever, and it's, you know, call it good. Spin a different narrative in it. Obviously, with Assassin's Creed here recently, they got back to the roots of what Assassin's Creed was in the first place, because by the time they had come out with Valhalla, it had just become too grandiose. They made it too big. Fans were not thrilled about it. It felt like too much, and so they scaled it back down. I don't think it was really anything all that inventive or an evolution over what people had experienced in Assassin's Creed prior to that, though. You know, just Assassin's Creed, and they've pumped those out almost on a yearly basis, so it's just feels played out, I think, for a lot of people. I don't know, but here they are with another issue of not taking care of employees. Apparently, I think this is it's not like, I think what people have to understand is when you're talking about workers going on strike, 700 workers going on strike, workers have to be severely disgruntled to go to this extent normally. It takes quite a bit of dissatisfaction and you know, low morale and significant dissatisfaction on the employee's part from the way they're being treated by the employer to get to a point of striking and stuff. Mass Effect Legendary Edition on sale, huge. 84% off. Nice, dude. Is that on Steam? Where is that at? I actually have a lot of the Mass Effects. What do I have them on EA? It's on Steam. I'm gonna pull up my EA. I have them somewhere. Hey, look at that. I've got Legendary Edition. Yeah! But that is a very good price for anybody that might not have it. Yeah. Yep. Cool. Yo, thanks, man. Appreciate it. So it's not like this is just something that's like out of the blue or something that hasn't. I'm willing to bet there's been a lot of issues leading up to this amount of employees being disgruntled enough to lead to a strike like this, right? It's not normally something that just kind of is like happens right away. There's a lot of things that lead up to this kind of situation, and it's usually an indicator that a business like Ubi is not treating their employees very well, and I'm not surprised, unfortunately. That's the news, my dudes. You guys ready to play some games? You're in the antics jungle, baby. I don't know where this came from. So thanks to everybody that was here and part of the news this morning. As always, dude, you guys rock, and we're gonna go play some games today. I don't know, dude. I don't know, dude. I'm just being weird. You know how I get, bro. I'm just being weird. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure out what we're gonna play. Might just do some FPS stuff today or whatever. We're gonna play Nightingale tomorrow. Nightingale starts tomorrow. The antics part is strong today. Yeah, I don't feel like I slept well, dude. I feel kind of delirious. If you couldn't tell, a little bit delirious. But Nightingale starts tomorrow. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about that, and we'll figure out what we're gonna play today. We'll play something, dude. We'll have fun. We always do. I don't know that it's going to be Stardew. I doubt it, probably, but we'll have some fun with whatever we do. So, to everybody that was here and a part of the news this morning, thank you guys very much. Everybody that's always a part of what we do here in this community, creating such an amazing space for all of us to be a part of, and just creating such an incredible community of people centered around, obviously, video games and our love of video games, but also cultivating such an amazing place for us to be in and day out, that provides a welcoming experience for anybody and everybody, you know. Just trying to spread good vibes and being void of negativity and toxicity, and helping everybody to have laughs and have a good time here and stuff. You guys make the dream work, dude, and I appreciate it very much. So if anybody's been able to hang out either now, you know, and you're not very familiar with what we do, or you're watching this as a VOD later on, this is our jam. We are live 6 days a week, every day but Wednesday. We always start off with video gaming news at roughly 6 a.m. CST CDT. That would be 7 o'clock Eastern time, or 4 o'clock Pacific. And we just go through finding as many pertinent articles and news topics as we can regarding the video gaming industry, trying to stay current and fleshing out these ideas about what's happening in the industry, trying to promote a healthier
industry all the way around for us as video gaming enthusiasts and consumers, promote the better companies that are doing right by us, and maybe shine a light on some of the ones that are not doing as good by us as well, so that people can be a bit, you know, a bit more educated about maybe potentially being wary of you know, staying away from maybe some of the things that they're doing and providing as far as products. So then after we finish with the news, we move on and we play video games for the rest of the day. So if you can dig that, and you know, you fit in with what we're doing here, spreading good vibes, playing video games and having good times, then come be a part of what we do. We're always looking for more people to continue to grow this amazing community we have, and we're always more than happy to have more good people be a part of what we do, man. So other than that, happy Monday. I hope that everybody's weekend was fantastic. I hope the start of your week is going well. I'm going to run us an outro real quick to kind of sum up this news segment, but as soon as it's over, I will be right back up here, and we will start getting into our gameplay part of the stream. So don't you go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. And I don't know. Stay healthy, stay safe, be kind. I'll see you in just a moment.